Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, July 25th, 2017, and it is time for another episode of True Story Tuesday, where I talk about some of my adventures in teaching and what it taught me. So I am currently stuck in the drive-thru. I'm about to get coffee, and I figure what better time to go ahead and get started with my story. So last year I taught first grade bilingual, and one of the things I've wanted to focus on with my students is really building their vocabulary between their native language and English. So every week when we would have a new story, we would spend a significant amount of time on introducing new vocabulary. And one of the things that I did to introduce new vocabulary was we would play a game where I would give the students clues to the words, and I wanted to see if they could find the word in their native language, and then I would introduce it in English. And so the word that I wanted them to guess was friend or amigo. And so I started by giving them this clue. This is somebody that cares about you a lot. All of a sudden I had kids raising their hands, ooh, ooh, ooh. And so I called on one student and they said, your mom. And I said, no, that's not it. And then I gave them another clue. I said, this is somebody who you might hang out with a lot. And another kid raised their hand and said, your grandma. And I said, no, not your grandma. And I said, this is somebody you might play with. And they said, your cousin? And I was like, not your cousin. And then I said, everybody has this, or hopefully everyone has this. And they said, a dog. And I said, no. And then I gave them another clue. I said, you've got this and I've got this, and this is somebody that you love very much. And they just drew a blank and they looked at me like, huh? And then I said, any clues? And one student, bless his little heart, raised his hand and said the quote of the day. Coffee. So bless his little heart, this amazing student of mine raised his hand and said, Miss Lopez, I am very confused. And I said, well, why are you confused, buddy? And he said, I can't get this word. And I said, well, what do you think it is? And he goes, well, you said it's somebody that you love and you've got one. And I said, yeah. And he goes, but Miss Lopez, you're not married. And I just had that moment where I just wanted to die of embarrassment. And so I said, well, first off, ouch. And second off, that's not the word I meant. And so that led me to my True Story Tuesday. It was an embarrassing moment for me. The entire class started cracking up, just laughing, and I felt mortified. And a little piece of me was kind of annoyed, like, this little bugger, how dare he say that? But then at the end of the day, I came to realize the moral of the story. So I just got to the college, and I'm going to share with you the moral of the story. But before I do that, I wanted to point out, I've been wanting to put music into my videos, but I don't want to break copyright laws. So if you're a vlogger or somebody who does social media with music, what ways do you have to use music that is not violating copyright? And so if you know or have any ideas about how to do that, please comment below and let me know ways that I can use music. Maybe you know some sites that have free music that's available for use, or just music that is available for video use. I did reach out to a producer that I know, and hopefully he will be able to make me some type of music. But if not, I just want to know ways that I can use music to make my videos a little bit better for you. Da, 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 da. And now it's time for the moral of the story. The moral of the story is, when you're dealing with students who are that young, at the time it was first grade, when you're dealing with kids that young, a lot of the things that they say are not intentional. They don't really say things to be malicious. Sometimes they just say it because they're kids, and kids are brutally honest. And so as an educator, although at first it might sting to hear something like that, or a similar comment, or something completely different, at first it might sting your feelings, but don't get caught up in your feelings. Don't take it personally, and just know that they are kids. Be a little bit more patient and ultimately a little more kind. Thank you so much for watching True Story Tuesday. I will see you next week.
Hey, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
You get for banana to $4 today?
No, thank you.
Okay, here you go.
Thanks. Have a good day.